All right. Good morning, everybody. This is Corey Ralston with 5 Star Real Estate in the Corey Ralston Group. Just wanted to bring you in for a training video on how to deal with Dotloop if you are a buyer. You will go to your email and your agent will have sent you your documents. You'll have a little note here from your agent and you can click here to view all documents and go through the process. As you open, you'll see it'll take you to start signing. I just want to point out some things real quick. This is incomplete over here. Usually it would be filled in. Same with this down here. It's just because it's for training purposes only. But you can read over everything first, make sure the price matches up, the property address and everything matches up here. You're going to make sure that there's the right type of loan that you have and everything in that section. Seller concessions, are you asking for money back or anything like that at the end of closing? Let's see here. Do you have a home that's for sale and you have to get that sold in order to buy? How much is your deposit, known as your earnest money, and where will that be held? You'll notice at the bottom of page 1, there's a spot there for you to initial. You can click that now if you want, or you can wait and do start signing later. Now, as you go to page 2, you'll make sure that the address matches up. You want to make sure it's more than likely a warranty deed unless you're purchasing via land contract, and that you have the ability to do all of the divisions if there are land divisions available. Close of sale, you want to make sure that the date matches for when you want to close by. Prorations, if there's a sewer bill or things like that, you want to make sure that's taken care of in here. Possession, you want to make sure this is checked if you're getting immediate possession at closing. Read over all the terms. Then you have the taxes. They will be in calendar year format. Assessments, they talk about who's going to pay the assessments, the buyer or the seller. As you continue down, you're going to see that in this scenario, we had waived the lead-based paint inspections and didn't put in a date. If you had a property that had the lead-based paint disclosure filled out, you'd check it here, or there'd be a date that matches there. Same with the seller disclosures, that would be here. If you did not have those available, you would check here and here. Home warranty, if there was none, you'd go there. If there was one, you'd click here and say who is by and who's paying for it. There again on page 2 is a spot for you to initial. And we come down a little further to page 3 of the purchase agreement. There you're seeing that the home inspection is in place. If you were waiving it, you would be here. If you had any type of inspections on well and water, you'd be going here, or septic system. Now, if you're connected to community water and sewer, those are checked there. If you're doing a pest inspection, you want to check here, or if the seller is paying, it's there. If you waive it there. Anytime you do a mortgage, they're usually going to do a mortgage report anyways. Bigger properties, a stake survey is highly recommended. You'll have that conversation with your agent. Condition of property. You want to check that all out there. Make sure you're comfortable with that and the walkthrough inspection. Then here is the spot for you to initial. Seller and buyer avoid legal counsel by using arbitration. You have the option to initial there. Any special provisions would be included in number 24. Then they talk about miscellaneous items, electronic communication, which is what we're doing here with electronic signatures. And then you can have number 27, the respond by time, and then you can click there to sign. And then the seller would fill in this section here, and then you would get it back and you'd accept and acknowledge if you were happy, or you would reject if you're not happy, or you would counter here if you wanted to change something specifically. Now you'll see I'm going to continue down, and you're going to see this is your disclosure regarding real estate relationships. So the relationship that you have with your agent. Are they your buyer's agent? In this scenario, they are. And that is checked, and they have signed here. And down here is where you would go ahead and click, showing that you are allowing them to be your buyer's agent. This is the lead-based paint disclosure. You see that the seller's initials box is completed, and so are these 2 boxes here. You'll see the agent has initialed and signed there, or the first signature is from the buyer, the next, or the seller. The next one is the agent's, and then you would go through here, and if you had a secondary buyer, they would click next to you. And you see that they've waived the lead-based paint inspection. There's where you would initial or sign, and here's where your partner would if there was a second person. Then this is going to be your seller's disclosures telling you all about the property. At the bottom of the first page, you would initial here. So what they're saying here is that if it's checked yes, that means it's here and it's in good working order. If it's no, that means the item is there, the dishwasher, but it is not working. Unknown means it's there, but they don't know if it works. And not available, disposal, for example, means it's not even in the home. So you're going to want to make sure you read over all those details. Then you want to check through the details here. So for example, they had put yes, there was moisture in the northeast corner corrected by installing gutters and downspouts in May of 2022. They tell you about the roof. Does it leak? No. And then it was installed new in 2022. And so there's more information that you'll be able to get through these seller's disclosures than what you'll typically have just by looking at a listing. So it's important to read over them and check them out. And then at the bottom, you'd be able to sign there. So now that we are there, I'm going to scroll back to the top and look for those orange boxes. Or you could click the start signing usually and go through. And I click here. Say that, yeah, that's the right name. Say that I like the signature looks good and the initials look good. I'm going to adopt and sign. And then I'm going to scroll down to the next. If you do start signing, it'll take you automatically right to every orange box that you need to initial or sign, just like this is. I'm going to skip here because you don't have to do arbitration. You can always come back to it later. And what that means is you have the option to go to court or to arbitrate, or you can go ahead and just click it. It doesn't hurt to do arbitration, but some people like the option to have the court option available. And then here is saying that I agree with everything on the purchase agreement. And we're going to scroll down here. Click here saying that that person is my agent, representative. And then I'm going to come down, only do one side here, even though it's trying to prompt me to the other. Scroll back up because I missed that middle box. And then I will click here, come down to the seller's disclosures. And then down here at the bottom, do that signature there. But I'm done. And you can click show me to show you where you've missed spots, but that's referring to other people. So you don't have to worry about that because that's for the other buyer. Skip. And then we're just going to let it come on through. And then you're going to close this out. You don't need to worry about those things. And it says you signed the document. You can access this link for 30 days. So now you know it's all signed, completed, and it's back with your agent. You can also, at that point, I always recommend sending a text to your agent to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope this was helpful, and you have a great day. Thanks.